Devil's favorite advocate, Deuce loosely here, and I'm going to make my predictions for the upcoming WWE pay-per-view Fast Lane. That thing that replaced Elimination Chamber because Vince just didn't want to book it in a venue that was able to house that particular event. And probably because he's being way too protective over his talent. He wants them to be able to act, but you can't act if you're injured, so, whatever. Anyway, before I do that, I'm going to get into a few random things that I picked up over the week. The first of which... It is a result of NXT's Rival, which is that thing that happened last Wednesday. Once again, tensions backstage at WWE's main roster have been flaring up once again because they want, the talent wants more creative control over their characters and over their matches and whatever. They're still looking at NXT as that place where they would rather be because they have more freedom over there. And, on the same token, on the other side of the fence, the NXT people are wondering why they're not getting paid more because they're doing more and because they're entertaining more. They're getting more attention and they're doing better and longer matches. And they're not getting paid enough, and they're certainly not getting enough exposure, being restricted to the network and not being given a regular television deal, which they deserve, which they should have, even if it is just an hour show. It's better than the 6 or 7 hours that the main roster get, and, there's tensions on both sides, and they're wondering why they're not getting a fair shake either way. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. That is, if the upper management is even listening, if they're even going to pay attention, if they're just going to stick to status quo and leave things as they are, and if they're going to lose more talent over the months to come because of this. As far as NXT goes, especially the ladies, there are mixed reviews about Charlotte being called up to the main roster in WWE. And believe it or not, it centers around the fact that she doesn't look like the glamour model diva type that WWE looks for. There's feelings that she just doesn't fit the mold of the typical diva, and it's really too bad that they feel that way. I mean, it's feelings are generally optimistic that she'll be called up anyway, but my fear is that she will be homogenized into being just another diva, which really, we don't want that to happen. I've said this before, and it would be a real loss if that were the actual case. But again, this is, the fear is that the crowd won't accept her because she doesn't look all glamorous and she's not Playboy material and all that stuff. Whatever. Thank you, Vince, for, instilling that mindset. What else is going on? Oh, yeah. RVD, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Monday Night, was recently asked if he would ever return to Raw, or if he would ever return to WWE, if that would ever be a thing. And he responded with, cool. Oh, wait, same writers? Apparently, he's taking jabs at WWE Creative, which, is not surprising, given that they like to limit his vocabulary. They are still pretty much, limited his ability or his whatever time he was given to cut any kind of promos. Yeah, they were kind of dry and whatnot, but at the same time, it didn't help that they cut his vocabulary down to a few words, which is pretty much what he was talking about there. So it doesn't appear that he is too high, forgive the pun, on returning to WWE. Ric Flair is putting together his own podcast. Oh dear God, not another one. It's going to be aired on CBS Sports Podcast Network. Play it. And let's just see if Ric Flair can stay sober long enough to get through one recording. Shall we? And as we all heard, Samoa Joe has left TNA pretty much for the same reasons AJ Styles left TNA a couple of years ago. They could not reach an agreement on contract terms, which, whatever, if you're going to take a little less money to perform to help the company that you're employed by, so be it. If you're a company guy, that's fine. I guess Joe wasn't that much of a company guy. But then again, it's been kind of difficult in terms of where they were going to put Samoa Joe. What were they going to do with him? There wasn't a lot that anybody could think of that they could do with Joe. So maybe it's the best thing for him to have moved on to another place, that will probably do more with him. The speculation is that he will more than likely end up in New Japan as a new member of Bullet Club, but again, that's just speculation. And, nothing is determined. He hasn't made any kind of remarks pointing to what he might do or where he might go. All we know is that WWE is probably not in the cards, so we'll have to wait on that one. Okay, and now, that's all for the, random crap that I picked up. Now let's get to the predictions. The predictions about the WWE Fast Lane. And I'm not real excited over this one. There's a lot of mixed reaction over this particular pay-per-view, but I'm going to get through this as fast as I can. Yeah, I know I keep saying that. Shut up. Let's just start at the bottom of the card, which I see as the throwaway match. Big Show and Kane and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan. I chose Team Authority to win this one because lol, Triple H always wins. Besides, this match doesn't really mean anything. And besides, why would a team lose if you need Rollins to maintain momentum going into WrestleMania? So yeah, that Team Authority wins. I'm just going to call this one Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes because the Dust characters, at least one of them is going to die. One of them is going to go away. If not right after this pay-per-view, soon. Because there's not room in WWE for two Dust characters. Cody may keep the Stardust character. I certainly hope not, because it's ruining Cody Rhodes. I've always held up the contention that Cody Rhodes should have been the next Blackjack Mulligan. He should have been, molded into that archetype. But, him being painted up as a clown and sent out in latex or whatever it is he's wearing, this is not doing good for him. And, this just needs to go away at some point. And since, him and Dustin are splitting, which is obvious, there's really no point in this gimmick going on any further. So, anyway, I'm taking Cody to get over in this match. It's going Paige versus. Yeah, I'm taking Paige on this one, but seriously want to second guess myself on this because WWE has a way of screwing around with the Divas stuff. So I'm looking at reality saying Nikki Bella is going to win this match, but I'm going to take Paige just to be the devil's advocate. I'm also going to take Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus, over the Usos. Because, let's face it, once you're trotting out the Divas as your accessory at ringside, things are going downhill. And the momentum is on the side of Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And let's face it, also, we need another tag team in the division. We need another tag team in the ranks. Someone that we can believe in, someone that's going to be viable. And you're not going to achieve that by jobbing out Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, even if it is to the Usos. But come on, it's time for the Usos to move on, move over, and at least until they can get rid of the Divas that they're being weighing down with. So Cesaro and Kidd are your new tag champions. I'm taking Wade Barrett to retain over Ambrose because this needs to be a feud that goes on a little longer, and it's not going to happen if the title changes hands, and it usually never does. And Wade Barrett just got the title recently. He needs to keep it a little longer, and WWE needs to stop with the musical chairs bit with the mid-card titles. They need to do something, and I've been saying this for a long, long time now. WWE needs to do something to restore the credibility for the Intercontinental and the U.S. titles. And changing it to yet another character, another person, is not going to do that. So I'm going to take Wade Barrett to get over Ambrose in this match. Lal Cena wins over Rusev. I'm not even gonna go there. If Rusev's gonna win, it's gonna be through shenanigans, and they're gonna carry it over until WrestleMania. But the fact that they gave him a title match already tells me that Cena's gonna win. Okay, Lal Cena. Here we go. And the last one, which is going to be the non-event main event, is going to be Roman Reigns winning over Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is not going to WrestleMania to take on Seth Rollins for the title, because if they do, Vince McMahon has painted himself into a corner in erasing any legitimacy to the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns needs to win this match if that's going to be avoided. The Royal Rumble needs to be shown as something that means something. We don't want another triple threat match because that's also going to diminish the credibility of the Royal Rumble. So we have this event for a reason every year, to determine the main event person for WrestleMania. And by having Roman Reigns lose, you are totally deflating that purpose. So, yeah, Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns. It's going to be Roman Reigns. Bryan is not going to win. It can't happen. This one's going to be mailed in. So, yeah, don't count on any other outcome. Roman Reigns is going to win. And once again, Lal Cena over Rusev, Barrett over Ambrose, Cesaro and Kidd over the Usos, Paige over Nikki, who cares anyway, Cody over Dustin, and Team Authority versus, they go over Team Ziggler. And there are your predictions for Fast Lane. And, oh yeah, Sting's going to show up. So, yeah, there's that. So that's it for me for this week. Stumbling over my words. I only woke up like half an hour ago. So anyway, this has been Deuce Loosely, Devil's favorite advocate, saying aloha.